Right now, in 2026, Tesla is basically two companies in one. On one hand, you've got a business that seems to be in a real crisis, but on the other, you have this world-changing vision that's right on the verge of happening. So how can both be true at the same time? Well, that's what we're going to get into. And this right here, this slide just lays it all out. You've got the promise, a potential robotaxi market worth an absolutely staggering $4.7 trillion. Then you have the reality. The core business, the part that actually makes cars, has seen deliveries drop for 2 years straight. It's a total paradox, and we're going to unpack how we got here. So first up, we have to talk about the part of the business that's paying the bills today. And for Tesla, the car company, things are looking pretty rough. There is a serious storm brewing on the horizon. A huge part of the problem is just the sheer amount of competition out there now. Just look at 2025. The Chinese automaker BYD sold 3.2 million EVs. That's nearly double what Tesla sold. The pressure is on, and it's coming from everywhere, especially from companies that are moving faster and cheaper. And all that competition, well, it has a very real cost. To stop sales from sliding even more, Tesla's been forced to slash prices. And the result is what you see here. Their automotive gross margin, basically their profit on each car, fell to just 18% by the end of 2025. I mean, it was at 28% just a few years ago. That's a huge chunk of their profitability just gone. The thing is, this isn't just one problem. It's everything hitting at once. You've got the falling deliveries we talked about, you've got the Model 3 and Y, which are getting kind of old and are facing tons of new rivals. On top of that, Consumer Reports dropped their reliability score to below average. And then there's the undeniable brand damage from Elon Musk's public persona, which has led to actual boycotts in some places. It's a perfect storm. Okay, so that's the gloomy part, but that is only half the story. While the car business is struggling, Tesla is betting everything on becoming something completely different, an AI and robotics company. And this is where the vision gets really, really big. And this is the number that changes the entire conversation. We're talking about a global robotaxi market that could be worth $4.7 trillion by 2030. Think about that. If Tesla can capture just a small piece of that pie, their current car sales problems become a tiny blip in history. This is the ultimate prize. But it doesn't even stop there. The Tesla Semi is finally starting to be produced in real numbers, and with it, they're going after the $800 billion global trucking industry. And the early results from companies like PepsiCo are showing huge savings on operating costs. So that's another massive market they're trying to crack. And then you've got Tesla Energy, kind of the sleeper hit in all of this. Their big megapack batteries for power grids, deployments grew 140% year over year. This is a super high-margin business that could easily be bringing in $50 billion a year in just a couple of years. So, what's the game plan? Well, it's pretty straightforward. First, get the Cybercab out there and build that robotaxi network. Second, use the Optimus robot to completely change the game for manual labor. And third, start licensing out their full self-driving software to other car companies, creating this incredibly profitable software business. So you have this struggling car company on one hand and this incredible AI vision on the other. What's the bridge that gets them from here to there? Well, it all comes down to the one thing that no one else has, their data. This quote really gets to the core of it. The source calls it an irreplaceable data set. This isn't data from a simulation. This is from real cars driving on real roads, dealing with real, messy, unpredictable situations, and it's all being fed back into their AI to make it smarter. And the number itself is just hard to wrap your head around, 6.9 billion miles. That creates what people call a data moat, a massive competitive advantage that's the foundation for their whole self-driving strategy. Every single mile a Tesla drives is potentially making the entire fleet smarter. But, and this is a huge but, is having the most data the same as having the right data? And more to the point, is it going to be enough to clear what is, by far, the biggest wall standing between Tesla's vision and its reality? Because, at the end of the day, all the data and all the vision in the world doesn't matter one bit if the government says no. The entire trillion-dollar plan depends on convincing regulators that a car with no human inside is safe. And right now, that's a very big if. Specifically, we're talking about the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA. In March of 2026, they escalated their investigation into Tesla's full self-driving, and they're getting specific, looking at how it handles reduced visibility conditions. Stuff like fog, heavy rain, or even just really bad sun glare. They're poking at the system's weakest points. And here's the crazy part. This is all happening like right now. The investigation ramped up in March. The very first cyber tabs are supposed to start production in April. And then the quarterly earnings call on April 28th is when we'll see how Wall Street is feeling about all this. It's an unbelievably high-stakes few weeks. So where does that leave us? It means Tesla is basically walking a tightrope. They are trying to thread an incredibly fine needle, balancing the messy reality of today with this massive ambition for tomorrow. And you can see that balancing act perfectly right here. You've got some real bright spots, for sure. Sales in China jumped 35%, and that energy business is growing like crazy. But then you have these giant red flags. The regulatory nightmare with FSD, those collapsing profit margins, and all that competition we talked about. And the stakes here are just insanely high. This quote from our source material says it all. If these regulatory delays drag on for another 2 or 3 years, the entire argument for why Tesla is worth so much money could just collapse. And that would give every competitor all the time they need to catch up. So this all boils down to one simple, massive question. Is Tesla about to have its Apple moment, where it pivots from just a hardware company into a software platform that totally changes the world? Or is it the next Nokia, a company that dominated hardware but completely missed the next big shift and just faded away? Right now, in 2026, the answer could truly go either way.